Time for us to get into the room, the guest room.
So I run out my mouth and harass Francois and go on like say I know what I'm talking about when it comes on to things to do with the environment, but we actually have the expert in here.
Oh.
A lady who's a global clean energy advisor and impact investor. She's a sustainable energy expert. Suzanne Shaw is in studio with us. Morning, Suzanne. How are you?
Morning, Paula-Ann. Morning, Francois. I'm good.
Hi.
And today's a great day. Today is what you call it? No single-use plastic day?
International, yes, bag free day.
International
plastic free day.
There you go.
You know, Paula talks about that every day.
Call it ad nauseum.
She's the expert, but she don't reach to doing it yet. Is this practical?
Certainly. There are lots of solutions out there that you can use to avoid using plastic bags. For instance, you can take your own bags to the supermarket. You can just be a little bit more aware when you go to the supermarket about the stuff that you buy, fruits and vegetables. Try and buy things that are, you can buy them, one instead of pre-packaged in styrofoam, for example. It's just a question of thinking about it and making that extra effort to try and eliminate single-use plastics.
How did you get into the space of even thinking about the environment at all?
Well, funnily enough, I started out doing chemical engineering.
Chemical engineering?
Chemical engineering, all right.
Nice term. What does that mean? You make what? Do what?
Plastics!
You can actually make plastics as a chemical engineer. It's about process engineering, so looking at chemical processes, trying to improve them, make them more cost efficient. That's what engineers are concerned about, making everything more efficient and more cost effective.
And who would hire you to do what?
So, for instance, the bauxite industry is a major employer of chemical engineers in Jamaica. The petroleum industry, the sugar industry used to be as well.
So you would work with a factory?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you could work on designing plants for chemical engineering production facilities.
Okay.
So when I first graduated, I actually worked at Alpart, one of Jamaica's bauxite alumina production facilities.
What was that like? You'd go to work and you would look at what? You're in a lab? I'm trying to see it.
It's actually a lot of stacks and huge drums, if you like, of chemicals mixed together with bauxite, trying to extract the alumina. Lots of fumes.
Oh, lovely.
It's not the most glamorous environment, walking around with a hard hat. It was an interesting experience, but I realized that I wanted to do something a bit more mission-driven, so I decided to do further studies and focus on the field of sustainable development, and that's how I got into sustainable energy.
So where did you go and what did you study?
So I went to the University of Edinburgh. I got a Commonwealth scholarship, and I studied environmental sustainability, and I focused on renewable energy. I did a case study on photovoltaics in Jamaica.
What that mean?
So photovoltaics that's solar panels, really, and how they could be used, for instance, in rural electrification programs, whether it was economic to do that compared to extending the grid. And eventually
extending the grid is JPS providing electricity to the particular area.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Versus with solar systems where you can be independent from the grid. You don't have to actually build all that infrastructure to get the grid out.
You're trying to see if it's better for the country or for the farmer to use solar energy. Which one?
Both. I mean, from the perspective of the consumer in terms of having a lower cost energy supply, and for the country because ultimately they have to subsidize.
Cheaper for the farmer and overall cheaper for the country eventually. Yeah. So what did you find?
So it was basically, if you took into account external positive impacts like environmental impacts from that. So traditional electricity in the grid is produced using oil for the most part. At least it certainly was at the time in Jamaica. And solar energy uses the sun, which has no negative environmental implications when it's used. There's no not dirty emissions, anything like that. So when you take into account these broader benefits to the society, it's actually more beneficial. And at the time I was doing it, the costs of solar energy were still fairly high, and right now solar energy is really actually cheaper than traditional fossil fuel energy.
So is that going to happen? I mean, you've studied it, and I think you're saying that it's a good thing, so why aren't we doing it?
Are farmers really going to get solar panels?
Well, we are doing it. We are doing solar on a broader level in Jamaica. There are a couple of utility scale. There's one utility scale plant going up in Westmoreland.
What is a utility scale plant?
So it means it's a big solar installation rather than an individual, for instance, home system or a few panels on a business.
Oh, so one person would set up solar for a community?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Exactly, and just sell the electricity to the grid, which could provide an entire community.
Sell the electricity back to JPS.
Yes.
And we still get the power from JPS, but it's coming from solar.
Yes,
as opposed to
exactly.
fuel. Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you. So you studied this, and then you came back, and what was your first foray into actually working in the field?
Well, actually, before coming back, I spent 13 years working in Europe. Because at the time, we're talking about, say, 2000, 2001. In those days, renewable energy was hardly at all a thing in Jamaica or even in the Caribbean. So I decided to get my work experience in Europe. They were leading the field at the time, and I worked in Brussels, I worked in Holland, in France, and then after I worked
in a technical space or a managerial space?
I was starting out on the technical analytical side. Really. So essentially I evaluated these systems from an economic standpoint, so looking at how they compared to traditional fossil fuel based systems, and I made the business case for implementing these systems compared to other types of dirtier technologies, if you like.
That's research.
And it was in the consultancy field, actually. Okay. So I worked for a while in consultancy, and then I went to work for the European Commission, where I dealt more with the policy and strategic side of things.
So your hands weren't dirty anymore.
No, my hands weren't.
Okay, and when did you return to Jamaica?
So I returned to Jamaica in 2015 and decided that it was time to use that experience that I had gained abroad to benefit, of course, Jamaica, where I'd grown up, the place that I will always consider home.
So did you go to work with an entity, or did you start your own on return?
I started my own consultancy at first, and I was also doing some work with the Caribbean Policy Research Institute. I'd set up a sustainability division for them. And more recently, I've founded a company called the Leap Company, which is essentially a socially responsible enterprise which seeks to work with businesses that want to have a social or environmental impact. So we have one of our major activities is a fund. It's called the Leap Impact Investment Fund, and this fund invests in businesses which deliver a profit, yes, but they also address a particular social or environmental challenge. So renewable energy would be a great target. For example, we could be talking about climate-smart agriculture.
Could be talking about cleaning up the oceans.
Exactly.
Once your company does something to aid or assist the environment, then they are a potential beneficiary?
Yes, and I wouldn't say a beneficiary, I would say investee, because what we really do is invest in businesses and help them to maximize both their financial returns and their impact from a social or environmental perspective.
So what do you get out of this? Because it's so nice, but
they're investing, they get dividends.
Exactly.
Profits, share.
When you invest in a business, you're helping them to achieve or to scale and to achieve solid financial returns and to deliver and scale the positive impact that they can have for the society.
So you want them to do good so that you can do better?
We want them to do good so that we can all do good as a society,
as the world,
as well as the company itself
doing good and the company doing good. So it's choosing who you do business with, that everybody has the same kind of focus as you do with creating a sustainable environment.
And there's a lot of interest in from investors in investing in these kinds of businesses.
How can folks find you? We have to go to the BBC World News, but how do they find you and Leap? And
They can find us on our website. Our website is the www.theleapco.com.
THELEAPCO.com.
Exactly. And they can email us anytime at info@theleapco.com.
We got it. And we're happy we had you this morning. Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
All right, folks. Her name is Suzanne Shaw. She is really a sustainable energy expert. And it was our pleasure to have her on this International Plastic Bag Free Day.